Welcome to the Career Kaleidoscope, where we explore all career possibilities to give you every unique path to success. So today, let's look at why Gen Z is ditching the four-year degree and looking at trades. We're talking HVAC, we're talking electrician, we're talking plumber. We're going to be looking at salaries. We're going to be looking at how long it takes to get done. And we're going to be looking at, does it make sense to not go to college and get one of these trades and get started a lot younger than you would if you were to go through a four-year degree? So I think first, in any situation like this, you have to take a look at the control. And the control here, from a scientific perspective, the control here is, what is college? What is the average cost of college? First off, college is going to take you 4 years. In many instances, you're going to also have to go right after that to get a master's degree. And that master's degree is a lot of times putting people where they would have been in years past with just a four-year degree. So let's take a look at some of those numbers here. According to the College Board's trends in college pricing and student aid in 2020, public colleges and state colleges, the average annual cost, tuition, fees, room and board, books, about $21,950 a year. And this is public. Out of state public cost was about $38,000 per year. Private costs, private colleges, about $49,000, almost $50,000 a year to go to private schools. And believe me, I went to private schools. These numbers can definitely get up this high. So you're spending a lot of money to go to college these days. Over 4 years, it can be anywhere from $87,000 to $200,000. So let's weigh that. Let's weigh those numbers and let's look at the average starting salaries. So according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE, taking a look at this in 2020, the class of 2020, the average starting salary is around $55,000. And remember, folks, this is average. So that includes all the kids that went into management consulting and got paid $100,000. And it also includes the people who just graduated and didn't really work in the place that they graduated. But $55,000 for 2020 was that average starting salary. So first, let's look at electricians. Now, these folks, they are the people that literally put the power on. They put the power on. You're able to turn on the light. You're able to get on the internet because these people can do their job, and if they can do it well, then they can have a really great career and a rewarding career because you're solving an issue for people. So first, let's take a look at education and training. So education is usually at some kind of a technical school. $5,000 to $10,000 is the cost. Now compare that to $20,000 for an entire year. You get your whole certification, everything that you need, for about $5,000 to $10,000 these days as an electrician. Then you go to an apprenticeship, which is paid. You get about 8,000 hours. And again, you're getting paid to learn. You're getting paid as you continue to learn more and more, and as you get closer and closer to being able to do it independently. Licensing, they do have to get a license. A lot of times you don't have to. There are electricians that don't have licenses, but it's not recommended. If you have that license as an electrician, work is just going to flow to you. Average electrician salaries, these aren't starting salaries, but these are average salaries, anywhere between $50,000 and $75,000 a year. So that puts you just in that range of if you would have gone to school for 4 years. Again, you may be making a little less, but you could also be doing that if you would have gone to a 4-year college. Also, if they start their own business, or if they're just really well paid, I mean, they could be making anywhere over $90,000, $100,000, $300,000. Depends on what you do, how much work you do. Again, there's not really a cap. It just depends on how good you are at marketing yourself. So it's definitely a career that you could get into and grow for 30, 40 years. Let's take a look at HVAC. So HVAC techs, these are people who work on your AC, heating and cooling. It is mostly what they're going to be known for. So for their education, also around $5,000 to $10,000. Usually takes them about 6 months to 2 years to get through their training programs. I've had friends who've gone through HVAC programs. It's taken them about 6 months usually. They also go through that apprenticeship, which is going to be 3 to 5 years. But again, they're getting paid while they're doing it. They're getting paid. By the time you get into your 3rd or 5th year of studying, you're going to be someone who has gotten paid for years, who probably has made enough money to pay off whatever loans you had to take to go to that original school. So looking at HVAC salaries, anywhere from $45,000 to $68,000 on average. Also, you could be around $80,000. And again, you start your own business, just like all of these trades. You start your own business, you put in more work than others, you hire employees, you scale, you could make $1 trillion. That's literally what you can do in all of these positions. It just depends on how good you are at business, how good you are at selling yourself, and so on and so on. So finally, let's look at plumbers. Now, plumbers are, they're so needed. They're so needed because how many times have you ever been in a situation, if you're not able to flush your toilets, if you're not able to run water and not flood, your whole house is shut down. And guess who you have to call? You have to call a plumber. People used to make fun of this role because plumbers were seen as people that have to, dig around in the sewers, be around nasty stuff. Nobody wants to do it. But guess what? They're getting paid really well. You could start your own business just like these other places. You could be making even more than you would think. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in a matter of 1 or 2 hours can be made in this role. And the same thing for electricians and the same thing for HVAC. So let's take a look. So it takes about $3,000 for you to get through plumbing school on average. It's going to take anywhere from a couple of months to 2 years. It'll vary. And of course, again, you're going to have to go through that apprenticeship, which pays off because you're shadowing someone who knows what they're doing. You're learning. And of course, as I've said in every situation here, you're getting paid. So now let's take a look at the plumber's starting salary. $45,000 to $70,000. It's much more varied, but you're going to be somewhere within that range, which isn't too far away from someone that just got out of college, someone that is $100,000 in debt. And if you finance school, you're $3,000 in debt and you're making $10,000 less. Also, in this situation, plumbers, even working for someone, can make over $100,000. So as we look to wrap this thing up, plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, all very valuable people to society. You literally need these people for your house to work. They're not really expensive to get into. They are lucrative long term if you're really good at what you're doing. You're good at marketing yourself. You don't have to take as long as you would need to with some other jobs to be able to start. Are they worth it? Is Gen Z making the right decision by going into these 3 careers? I think in a lot of cases it can be worth it. If you're someone who at 4 years old, at 7, at 10, at 13, at 15, at 20, you wanted to be a lawyer this entire time. You've always wanted to be a lawyer. You've always wanted to be a veterinarian. You've always wanted to be a marine biologist. You've always wanted to be whatever role you can think of. If you've always wanted that role and you absolutely need a college degree to do it, then get that degree, because that is going to be your only way that you can do what you have wanted to do your entire life. But if you're just someone who just says, I just want to live. I want to make enough money to be able to support my family, support myself, go on vacations, everything like that. You do not have to go to college to do it. You can get a trade. They took trades out of schools years ago, but don't be afraid. Go to a technical school and get a trade, and you could be making the same amount of money that your peers who have 2 to 3 more years left of school that you're already starting in your career. Maybe making $30,000, but guess what? Your peers are going to be making $0. They're going to be going deeper and deeper into debt while you're spending $3,000, paying it off after the first couple of years, and then in a couple of years you'll be making either the same amount of money as they're making when they get out, or maybe even a little bit more. So always do your research when you want to go into any career field. The numbers, the practicality, it makes sense. If you don't care, if you don't have a passion specifically for one thing that you need a degree for, always look into the trades, people. This is the first episode of the Career Kaleidoscope. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see here, what roles you want to learn more about. what jobs that you want to see people maybe come on an interview about. Let me know that in the comments. See you soon.